Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Got a pretty cool review today. We're going to introduce the Moegneto Audio line of subwoofers. This is our first line, one of actually two lines that we're introducing. This is what we're referring to as our SPL line. Now, of course, that can have many different meanings across the bass head community, so I don't want any overreaction or underreaction, but these are our higher power subwoofers that we're initially introducing. Obviously, as we're ramping up, we're going to be introducing a whole lot more lines, but after doing a lot of market research, seeing what sells, what doesn't sell, and what's really popular currently among the community, this seems to really fall within that above mid-tier type of level. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. This is a 12-inch version of the Moegneto Audio. So this is our SPL 12. I think the model number is SPL 12D4, which is a 12-inch subwoofer with a dual 4-ohm voice coil. So unboxing it now, we're gonna take a look at it. Of course, you get your Moegneto Audio sticker and well packaged, again with plastic around the subwoofer for any fog during transportation. Pretty good thick foam here on the top and bottom. So let's go ahead and take it out and get it introduced to you guys. And let's go ahead and unbox it. So 12-inch version, very, very pretty. I'm always intrigued by all-car audio, period. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this. There we go. So 12-inch subwoofer, dual 4-ohm voice coil. This is a 3-inch copper voice coil on an aluminum former. Again, we wanted to kind of look at what is really, really popular and why it's popular, right? So overall, when you're looking at this as I'm reviewing it, it's all about functionality and performance with the specifications. So really excited about it. I've been fortunate to kind of have these running into my truck just to kind of break them in, get a really good understanding and feeling for all different music genres, different music levels. Again, as you guys, I think I've made it very clear, I'm definitely an SQL guy, so sound quality type of audio system set up in my personal vehicles. And this does an amazing job, and it goes above and beyond, and pairing it with a Moegneto Audio monoblock Class D amplifier definitely has the power and shakes the windows and rattles everything that I need it to rattle. So let's take a closer look at it. So you'll see it's kind of a glossy finish up top. This is a non-pressed paper cone. We've got a double stitched surround to the cone itself. Pretty solid inner dust cap. Overall surround. We went ahead and integrated the rubber mounting ring for the frame, which is very, very popular. Really offers a lot of advantages when you're mounting these subwoofers to your boxes, because it does act as kind of a sealing joint when you're mounting it to make sure you don't have any lost pressure in your box or enclosure. So pretty sleek. We do offer these in both white and black frames. I really like the white. It just kind of stands out, and so it's kind of been my go-to, and our first batch has been white. We'll probably stick with that. Again, it costs us a little bit more to get it painted on this gloss white finish, but I think it looks really, really good. While I have it here to the side, let me make sure I've got good views. I apologize about my angle here. Zoom in a little bit more. There we go. You can see we've got a lot of ventilation here. So within the voice coil, a lot of openings to be able to circulate the air during operation and to help keep that voice coil cool. Again, 3-inch voice coil, all copper, by the way, around an aluminum former. So 3-inch is pretty beefy, definitely getting a lot of traction in the marketplace. You've seen, all different types of ranges. But definitely a 3-inch voice coil, which is bigger than kind of a Sundown SA version 2 or version 1, which I think uses the 2 and 3/4 inch or 2 and 5/8 voice coil. So really beefy. We've got the magnet boot protection here. This is just really more cosmetic. There's no operation advantage. What it does is just kind of gives it better aesthetics, and also during transportation or mounting or anything like that, does kind of protect the magnet or the motor from any bumps or scrapes or anything against the coil. So I'm sorry, against the motor itself. So another addition that we paid extra for to make sure you guys have the small little features. dual 4-inch voice coil, so you got dual push spring terminals. Let me get in the frame here, sorry. There we go. And maybe we can zoom out a little bit. There we go. All right, so dual push spring terminals, again, color coded to make it a lot easier, not color coded just in the top, but also in the bottom, so you can tell what's positive, what's negative. Pretty stiff, which is nice, so once they close, they'll give you a really good contact between your wires. This is actually pretty good for 8 gauge. So here's my 8 gauge wire, and I can just slide it in here relatively easy. Again, probably overkill to run 8 gauge for this type of power level. Of course, you can do it, and it never hurts because you got less resistance in your current path. So, but we oversized them so that way you don't have to worry about running 12 or 16 gauge wires and not getting your full potential out of your subwoofer. So this is on both ends. Here's the other set of push spring terminals. Got, again, the stitch leads into the spider. We've got a spider ring. We actually use 2 spider rings to hold the spider in place instead of just gluing it down. So again, an additional manufacturing process that usually costs more. And so we went ahead and added that on here. Let's look at the back a little bit. We've got the vented pole. Definitely helps air movement and circulation to keep that voice coil cool during operation. And so pretty sleek. Really impressed with this. So this current subwoofer is rated for 800 to 1000 watts RMS. Again, anyone that gives you an exact number, it's usually a best engineering estimate, but we've been able to do the work. I've got it hooked up to a 5K Moegneto audio. Of course, I'm not running full blast of the power. I've got my gain tuned to my head unit, and it does great. It does great, stays cool, definitely hits the lows really well, and I've been very impressed. So overall, the resonance frequency for the subwoofer is 40 hertz with a VAS of 30.9 liters, which comes out to about 1 cubic feet. So what that says is you need 1 cubic feet box to be able to hit a resonance frequency of 40 hertz, which is excellent. So these are great for both sealed and ported enclosures, and you're definitely going to be able to hit those lows with this subwoofer. So very impressed with it. Stained steel basket. We got it in the white gloss finish. We talked over here on obviously the cool Moegneto logo, rubber surround ring for mounting purposes. It is pretty heavy. It should weigh in approximately 17 pounds. So let's go ahead and get weight. And then we'll also take some dimensions as well. So let me pull this nice handy little scale over here and make sure it's in. There we go. So let's put this baby on. All right at it. So 17 pounds, 9 ounces. So definitely heavy. Again, with the motor, copper coil, and the double spider ring. We use a Teflon spider ring on here. So very impressed with it. Again, just well built, very well built. And this is why we're kind of call it the SPL series, but overall, definitely a beefy subwoofer. Hitting that mid-market 1000 watt RMS type range. Usually rule of thumb is you double it for peak power for those instantaneous bass drops or bass notes. So with that, let's go ahead and take some dimensions. We talked about the push spring terminals being 8 gauge, so definitely beefy connections and they're really stiff. Mounting depth should be about 6.7 inches from the bottom to the bottom of the ring. And that is exactly what I'm seeing. So looks like slightly less than maybe because of the carpet here, but I've got about 6.5 inches for mounting depth, and that's to the bottom of the mounting ring here. So pretty cool. Cutout for this is about 11.1 inches. So your standard cutout for your either prefab boxes, or if you're gonna have someone make you a custom box for it, certainly falls within the industry standards for cutout dimensions. Great subwoofer, high power, Sensitivity is really well, so sensitivity rated at 1 watt per 1 meter is 85 decibels, so very, very respectable in that sense. And I'm pleased, so I'm hoping that you guys are pleased with it as well. We'll have some follow-up videos for our other lines. Those are the SQL series, which are more low profile, all carbon cone, all carbon dust cap, copper voice coils, dual forum as well, push spring terminals. We use the same push spring terminals on those, and those have been very, very, very popular here in the Central Texas area and selling quite a bit of those. So again, Moegneto Audio 12-inch subwoofer. This is the SPL12D4, rated for 1,000 watts RMS, dual forum, all copper voice coil on aluminum former, overroll surround, well made. I think you'll be very, very pleased. What I'll do is probably have a follow-on video. Actually, I'll go ahead and do some excursion on the bench testing there to kind of show you movement, but we'll also get some videos of not just my vehicle, but also some of the other clients that we have locally, which we've been fortunate to kind of get some of their videos with their pleasure of purchasing these subwoofers. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you guys hit that share button, tell your friends. Really excited to be able to bring this to the market. If you have any further questions, look in that description. We've got our website, we've got our Instagram page, we've got our Facebook page, got our email address. Be glad to answer any questions you may have on this line of subwoofers.